Hello, everybody. All right, this is the end of June, and we are going to finish our summer series, or our June, basically, series. And we are going to see what's going on. Hi, Debbie. How are you? I was trying to make sure that you were on. That's fantastic. We are going to do the red truck today. And we are going to do some fireworks and celebrate 4th of July. So stay with me. And this is what we'll be doing. But let's review what we did this June. So we've done a camper. And it looked like this. It was really, really fun. You can find all of these on my actual Facebook page and or my web page. On the 9th, we celebrated beaches. Yes, we did. We went to the beach. That was fun. And then we did a Happy Father's Day card. Pretty fun. We did a little cartoon, and he was barbecuing. And then last week, we worked on pool floats and pool stuff. And it was just a simple little sketch, and it was kind of fun. A little loosey-goosey, and that's what we did. So that is what we did in June. And today, we are going to work on the little red truck right here. And we're going to work on that. I also have another announcement. I will come out with July also, but I'm also starting a Star Wars series, a new class. It's going to be an online class, and where it's all of my videos have been actually done, and we are going to do some Star Wars. So we're going to do BB-8. We're going to do Mando, the Mandalorian, and his helmet. We're going to do R2-D2. And we're going to do, of course, Baby Yoda. It's going to be my favorite. So it's going to be a 4-week class. Each week a video will come out, and you can get that. But the registration is not open yet, but it will be shortly. So stay tuned. All right, let's get down to business with our red truck. I'm going to check on Instagram. Everybody's good? All right. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. I want you to know that you'll need watercolor paper, and it works best. It's 140-pound paper right here, and it helps do the water. I like to take the watercolor paper, and I like to divide it in half, and that gives me this little piece of paper right here. So that's what we are going to work on today. All right, you will need a pencil, so I will have a pencil. And you will also need some paintbrushes. So I have 2 paintbrushes here that I probably will use. One is a 1/4-inch mop, and it is very fine and easy and soft. I like it. And then I have a number 2.0, and this is from Dick Blick, Master Stroke Fine Sable Brush, and it's round. So it is one of those fun things that I like, and so it's nice and little bitty stuff. I have a kneaded eraser because on my pencil, I don't like pencil erasers. So this is just rubber that you actually clean just like this. And it actually comes through, so I like it the best. And today, I think I'm going to try a different palette of paper, paint. So I'm going to use this Prang half pan paints, and we're going to use these. So I'm going to use these anyways. I figured I'd just try to be different. You need some water next to you, and I have also a spray bottle next to me too. All right, are we ready to get started? Yes, okay. Here we go. So I'm going to first start with, we're gonna do a truck with some stuff on it, right? I'd like to have a little, so let's look at, first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm going to draw an edge. I'm into drawing a boundary on my paper, just like a border all the way around it, mainly because I like the way it feels. I like to know that this is the edge. I know that we could have the edge be the paper, but this makes it a little bit nicer. I want you to draw lightly too, because we'll probably erase this, okay? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a horizontal line, a horizon line. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to just draw the ground. Okay, so I have my ground. This is where my truck's going to sit, of course. And he's not going to sit just on the ground. He's going to sit somewhere here in the middle of this area, okay? So what I think I'm going to do now is I'm going to go, all right, I want my truck to be, I think I'm going to put a dot here and a dot there. That's how big my truck's going to be, okay? So I'm just kind of playing around here. I'm going to go, all right, so half of this, I'm going to take a half and go, okay, so that's what this is. And I'm going to take my fingers and I'm literally just going to go like that. And I'm going to go, okay, so that's the top of my truck. Okay, so I have 3 dots that tells me how big this truck is going to be. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to draw the bottom of the truck. Notice that's not where, like, the wheels will be actually underneath that a little bit. Okay, then I'm going to sit here and go, all right, I'm going to go up a little bit higher, almost halfway, maybe a little bit under halfway, and I'm going to draw a rectangle. I'm drawing real lightly. Hopefully y'all can see that. I'm going to erase my ground inside my truck. Okay, I don't want to, it's going to be a confusing line, so I'm just going to do that. All right, next, our truck has to have a back end and a front end, right? So that's why I did half. So I'm going to sit here and go, all right, so this is half. So this is about where I don't really like completely, like if that's half, I'm going to come over like maybe 1 finger width and go, okay, so that, I like the long bedded trucks. In fact, I know what that is. It's funny. Okay, and I'm going to draw that line all the way down. All right. Now we've got to draw the front bed and also the front end of this truck, right? Okay, so one of the things I'm going to do here is I'm going to divide this space into half. So that's half. And I'm going to curve just like that. All right, it's like half of a rectangle, sort of. All right, and then I'm going to, this is going to be my front end. And lots of trucks today don't have these perfect little edges. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to round that off. So I've rounded that off. I'm going to erase that little tip there. So now I have a rounded edge. That's looking pretty good. Okay, so one of the things I'm going to do now is I'm going to make the window, like the door. The door has to be right here. So I'm going to come in and go, okay, I need right where it's starting to curve. I'm going to bring down another line all the way. So do you see I have, basically we're doing a lot of rectangles here, right? Okay, so I've got this one down here. This is my door, all right? Now, my door could be a little bit bigger, and if I wanted to make it bigger, I think I'm going to go this way. I'm going to go and add that, which probably is half, like I should have done at the first place, but that's okay, right? All right, I like that. All right, so this is going to be the windshield is right in here. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to just draw a little bit of an outline, a little bit of a curved outline, and down here at the bottom, I'm going to draw a line that goes that way. It's an angled line because I want my truck to be kind of wider. So do you see what I'm doing here? I'm drawing 2 of that right there. So I'm going to show you what I did here. So I drew a little windshield. This is the windshield. I drew it going back a little bit angled. And then where it angled and connected right here, I decided, oh, okay, so that's the other side of my truck, right? And I'm going to make the same curved line right here all the way down. It repeats itself right there. Now, here's what we're going to do. Trucks have, well, let's finish this windshield and stuff, right? All right, so we've got to have another window. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to make another window. Like that. It's another square. Rounded. I'm doing almost everything rounded these days because lots of trucks these days are. I have a real big point right there, so I'm going to actually round it too. My grandfather had a old red truck. Okay, so I'm going to come over here to the front end of my truck now. Okay, so here we go. A front end of an old truck. I'm going to come in and I'm going to divide, like this is going to be like the front end. You know, the I'm going to call it the lid. That's not it right. What's that called? Oh, I don't have a clue. Pop the trunk, that's not it. Pop the top, I don't know. And then I'm going to do some lights, right? So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to do a light. Now, lights also wrap around, don't they? So I'm going to come in and I'm going to do a whole little light like that. And I'm going to do a little light right here. All right, I'm going to erase so you can see what I'm doing. All right, now this one I'm leaving it that way, but this one is more like around. All right, we've got to have a bumper. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to repeat this same angle. See, I repeated it here. I repeated it here at the lid. And then I'm repeating it here and here where the bumper is. So I'm going to just make another little rectangle, like right there. And I'm going to then make it come around. Now, I'm not going that far because I know that there is a wheel in here somewhere, right? We've got to do our wheels. So, our wheel is going to be almost as big as this whole part here. So I'm going to come in and our wheel is a circle and the middle of that circle is going to be on that line right there, okay? Now, of course, hubcaps aren't that small, but they all have that middle axle right there, and that's what that is. And now I'm going to make another. So I've made my donut. All right, now I'm going to erase some of that so you can see it a little bit clearer. Just like that. And my bumper is going to come around and I'm going to have it stop right there around it. Now, a lot of times they have that big old wheel well that actually goes up on it. And we're going to go ahead and draw that too. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to go right and I'm going to mimic that whole shape of that area. I'm going to go ahead and erase. All right. We got to do the same wheel over here in the back, right? So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to make, here's my dot. I'm making it like halfway. And I'm going to, so I make sure that it's the same height and stuff. I'm just going to come in You see that? I kind of did with my pencil little light lines, and I'm going to take it and I'm going to go to there too. So that kind of tells me, oh, okay, so that's how big my wheel is. Do you see how I go over and over that shape? I do that because I'm not good at making circles. So if I do many little baby circles like that, eventually one of those will actually work. All right, so I'm going to come in and I'm going to make the hubcap. All right, now we got to make the wheel well again, right? All right, so the back end is normally a little bit bigger than the front end. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go, all right, so I want it that tall, and I'm going to make it go just like that all the way around. And you see, I make it a little bit underneath where I have the truck, the bottom of the truck. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm short, so I have trouble getting in and out of trucks. So I was like a step right here, so I'm going to just go ahead and draw a step. Okay, that's not bad. Now, we have a 3D truck over here, but we have a 2D truck over here. So we need to make a back end. So I'm going to come in here and just make it like that, which is just a little light line, and it's another rectangle, and that angled line is the same angle as the one that we started with our windshield up here. All right, so now I've got a really good, okay, that's a good base for a truck. Normally they have like a little lip right here, so I'm going to go ahead and add that in. I'm not going to do anything on that top part because we're going to put stuff there. All right, and we need to have a handle, don't we? So I'm going to just go ahead and put in a little handle right there. Okay, I'm happy with my truck. Are you happy with your truck? I'm okay with my truck, right? It needs maybe a little bit of work, but we can work on that, all right, with our paint. So now let's draw the rest of the stuff. So remember, I had balloons in here. I had a actual, what do you call it? American flag, and maybe some fireworks stuff coming out of it or something, right? So one of the things I'm going to do, I'm going to first work on my flag. All right, the flag has to be like flying away, right? So one of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. Now some flags, let's do it. Let's make our flag right here. All right. And so on our flag, I'm making my pole first. My pole has, I'm going to do this little, you know, they always have those little points on them, right? And now I'm going to make, it's a squiggle. Don't make just a square, all right? So I'm going to come in here, and it's going this way. So we're going to actually end up doing kind of a backwards flag. So do you see that? It's like an S. There's one half, and now I'm going to make another half just like it. And that's going to be, and you see how I added, really, it's two rectangles with a little loop right there. Do you see that? So I'm going to zoom in so y'all can see that. I'm ignoring that little zigzag. I don't need it. All right, so we've got to have our blue area flying. I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to put it in, like right in here. I'm not going to do anything else to it. I'm just going to add it so I know where it is. And then I'm going to add just a couple lines right like that. All right, that's my, all right, now let's do some balloons. I wanted to do some balloons. So I'm gonna have some balloons tied right here, or maybe it's tied in the hat and it's going out. So if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna go in and I'm making, you see that little shape there of a balloon? And I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna make another one. It's a round shape with a little triangle at the end. And I'm going to keep on doing that. I think I'm going to add another one right in front here. Now this one in front covers up all of those back ones. You got to be careful about that. So you know that I'm going to erase everything that was in here. The reason I'm erasing everything in there is because this one's in front, right? So then I'm going to come in and I'm going to make me some lines. And I'm going to put them right in there. Okay. So there's my 4 balloons. Red, white, and blue. That's maybe what we're going to do. And I'm not going to draw my fireworks just yet. But I did have another one that I've been looking at different people. So some people actually have these squiggles with a star on them. Now, do y'all know how to do a star? So a star is an A. There's an A. And then you go across. And then you go one down. And that one down. And that's a star. So there's one. And then I think I'm going to make another one right in here. And I'm going to start with the star. So again, we're going to do an A. Or a VA upside down. Then I'm going to do a horizontal. So that's an A, right? And then on this point, I'm going to come over. And then on this point, I'm going to come over. And a little curly Q. Okay. I think we should start actual painting now. What do you say? Because, yeah, I'm liking that. I think that'll work. The one that I have is actually got a big star here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and put it. So again, I'm making an A. Across and down. Now I'm going to erase everything inside it. Because I think I'm going to make a big white star right there. So when I go to paint, I am not going to paint inside this star. But there you go. All right, I think we should paint. How is everybody? Everybody doing all right? Let me check Instagram. Yeah? All right, here we go. So one of the things that I'm going to do first is I'm going to move this out of the way because I've learned that it sprinkles on it. I'm going to activate my watercolors. So I'm taking my water and I'm going to spray it. Just like that. So that activates them. And then I've got my little background here. All right, so let's make sure everybody's in there. All right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get me some red. So I'm going to start here with my red. I put some water on my brush. And I'm going to start with my red truck. So I'm coming in here. And I am just going to simply add red all the way around. Now, if you wanted a blue truck, you could start with blue. But I want an old red truck because that's what my grandfather had. He also had a white one. We had a white truck and a red one. So here we go. And I want you to know I'm not taking too much time with this. I'm just putting it on. Now I'm skipping my lights there. You see that? I'm also skipping my bumper right there. But I am going to do this wheel well. And I'm doing it around my star because I want to leave it white. And I've got a nice little brush here. This brush actually came with the set. I don't really even know what it's called. So I'm coming in and I'm gonna paint this whole truck red. And watercolors is a bunch of shape layers of color, and they always dry lighter than when it is dry. They always dry lighter. So, and you see, I'm not even really worried about the shapes here. I'm just kind of coloring it in. I just want to get down that first layer. Now, anybody worried about this back end going, all right, what color is it? We could make the inside black, or we could make the inside red. I think I'm going to just go ahead and do red. So I'm going to come in here, but I'm going to be paying attention to my pole there, because I want my pole. And I'm going to go ahead and paint that whole little section there. All right, that's pretty cute. Okay, next what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to paint. I'm still on my red kick. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to pick 2 balloons that are red. Now the key with a balloon is I want you to leave a little bit of whiteness. You see how I did that? I basically made a little circle. And I'm going to leave it white. So, and I'm going to be real careful that I don't get it in everybody else's and all the other balloons. I just want to get it. All right, that works. That's nice. All right, I'm still with my red, and I'm going to do my flag now. So my flag, we know that the flag needs the red lines, right? So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to take a nice little edge and I'm just going to do a few. I'm going to do it. So I got 3 in there because that's all I could do. And on this one, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. That one got really close together, but that's all right with me. I can make it happen. I'll be all right. All right. I think I'm okay with that. So let's go to blue. Let's go to blue next. So I'm going to take me some blue. And one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to do my blue balloon. Now, being real careful not to get it into the red because we don't want it to bleed. And you see how I'm kind of just plopping it down? Now, did anybody notice that I did not do a highlight on this one or this blue one? I forgot completely about it. That's okay. We'll figure it out. That's the other thing about art. We'll just figure it out. Now, are we going to draw all of the stars? No, I'm not going to draw all the stars, but I am going to go ahead and put it, the whole thing blue, being very careful not to get it anywhere near that red. Okay, I think I'm going to make one of these stars blue too. All right, I like that. I think I'm going to make this star blue. And I'm just coloring it in. Okay, that's not bad. All right, now let's talk about the truck again. We're ready for the truck. Maybe we should get some black for my tires. So I've got some black on my brush. I'm going to be real careful not to get it anywhere else. And I'm going to just get the wheel, not the hubcap, because I want that hubcap to be gray, and I've got too much black on my brush to be gray right now. So I'll have to figure that out. Does anyone know how to make gray? You add water to the black over and over and over again. It makes it lighter. Yep. All right. I think we're gonna have to do gray, aren't we? Because the hubcaps are normally gray, and I think I want to make the inside a little bit of gray too. Now keep in mind, inside this, we see the other side of the actual vehicle, right? So I'm actually going to get my little pencil out, and I'm going to show you all something. I'm going to make a smaller window in here because it's on the other side. And I'm going to leave it just like that. I'm actually going to get me some black, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to paint everything around this area. And I'm not going to paint, so there's the inside. And what else am I going to do? What was I going to do? It's going to go on gray. So I have black on my brush already. So one of the things I said is that we need to make gray. So I'm taking my black and I'm going to put it over here on my palette. You see it doesn't do much, right? That's okay. I'm going to get me some water and put it over here. I'm going to get me some more water, put it over here. The more water I add each time, the grayer and the lighter it becomes. So, and if it's too dark, you could then take some of this and put it over here and go, all right, I'm going to add water to this one now. And you see that one's much lighter than that first one. So I'm going to use that light one next. So I've got some of that on my brush, and I'm going to come in here. Oh, that's good. And I've got just like that for my hubcap. I wish I would have done that for my inside of this. Now, I could, if this is too dark, I'm drying off my stuff, all right? I'm drying it off, and I'm coming in here, and I am seeing if I can't pick up some of this black paint. This is how you sort of erase. Sort of. Your paint has to be wet, and your paint brush has to be dry. All right, I'm liking that a little bit better. Let's go back to some red. So I'm going to go back into some red, and this time I'm going to outline a few things. So I'm going to sit here and go, okay, so I liked that. I'm going to outline my hubcap or my wheel well. Isn't that what that's called? I don't know. Right, and I'm gonna go, all right, there's a little seam right here where that truck edge is, right? It's the door. There's also a little bit right here. I'm gonna just go all the way around like that. There's a little one right here. Anybody realizing that we don't have a mirror yet? Yeah, we're gonna have to put one. All right, I'm gonna go, all right, there's this right here. Now, this back side is going to be a little bit lighter or darker. You get to choose. I'm going to go with darker. So I'm going to come in here and I am putting some more red paint along that side right there. And I'm going to try to make that side darker. Now, that means I might need to use a darker red. So, oh, and that means that back there is red more. So I'm going to come in here and I'm adding a little bit more red to it. Now, where we have added 2 coats of red, you see it more, right? Well, that's kind of the point. So I have another red in my palette, and I'm going to use it for just a moment. So I've got it, and I'm going to come in, and I'm just going to come in and go, all right, where do I want a little bit more dark? Mine's darker. So I'm just adding it in, and I'm adding it down here towards the bottom a little bit. I'm going to add it up here at the top. I'm going to add a little bit right there. I think I'm going to add, I'm going back to my normal red, and I'm going to highlight around my star. All right. Now, anybody notice that I don't have a mirror, and I don't have any door handles anymore? Gonna have to figure that out. So What color are headlights? You're going to say maybe they're yellow, but they're white. How do you paint white on a white piece of paper? It's actually going to be a little bit of a gray. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to add just a little bit of gray to that. And you see I did not do the whole thing gray. I just did a little bit of that gray. Same thing for that window right here, or my windshield. I'm just going to add just a little bit right there. I'm going to add a little bit to that right there. Being very careful that I don't touch anything else. Same thing. I want this balloon to also be white. So I'm going to add just a little bit of gray around it. Like that. And so now it looks like it's a colored white balloon, right? Okay, what color is our pole? Most poles are either brown or something like that. So I'm going to just go ahead and get me some brown. And I'm going to go ahead and paint my pole all the way down. Now, I have that little white spot there because I forgot to paint that red. So I'm going to come in with some red. And I'm going to come in, and instead of going all the way around with this, I'm going to come in and go just in the middle. Like that. And you see how that kind of makes that look like it's flowing in the wind? Okay, I'm going to highlight my balloons now. So I'm going to pick one area that I want a little bit darker, which is always next to a color. So there's that. You see I did not cover the entire balloon. I'm going to do that on this side too. All right, I'm liking it. I'm going to do the same thing with blue. I'm going to use a different blue this time. So I've got a different blue, and I'm coming in and I'm going to just add some blue dots in here. That's better blue. I should have used it first. I'm going to come in and add just a blue around. I'm leaving a little bit of that area with no color in it. I'm going to come in with this blue, yeah, on my stars. I think I'm even going to go in my curly cues here. Now, being real careful, I'm not going to do it inside my red yet because it's kind of, well, if it's not wet, you could do it. All right, I'm liking that. I can handle that. That looks like a little red truck. So since I'm here and I'm doing okay, I'm going to leave my red truck the way it is for a minute, and we're going to play with some other things. So let's talk about fireworks. So fireworks it's a practice with the brush. And I'm going to practice on this piece of paper here first. So if I was going to go get a red, I have red on my brush with some water. I'm going to put it down in the middle. You see that? And then I'm going to go wee, 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 wee. And it doesn't look, you push it down and then you lift up as you go out. And it's like these weird C's. And you want to do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You want to do it an odd number. Okay? And you then wait for it to dry. And then you do it again on top of it. Okay, so I'm going to do it one more time. This time I'm going to do it with blue. So I have my blue. I'm going to not have it anywhere near a wet. Okay, I'm going to take this and I'm going to go wee, 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 wee. Now, are you noticing it's not making the full stroke? So I could come in here and I could do it again. All right. Are you ready? I know, this makes people very nervous. All right, I'm going to come in with some red. And I'm going to sit here on this side right here. I may get some extra water on my brush. Okay? And here I go. I'm going to go wee, 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 wee. I don't care what they look like because I'm going to go back over them. So there's one. I'm going to do another red one, and I'm going to do it over here. Wee, wee, Yes, you have to make the noise. I knew you were asking. And you know, I don't even know. I'm not even taking how many times I do it, like counting. So I just kind of do it where it looks like a full circle of something. I'm letting that dry. Okay? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the blue. But I'm not going to touch them. Okay? So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go on this side. I think I'm going to do it right here. Wee, 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 wee. There's one. And I'm going to come over here and do this one. And it does seem that I did a little bit more. I'm always starting at the center and flicking out. Center and flicking out. All right. I think because I've got a lot of red, I'm going to do another blue one. So I think I'm going to do another blue one up here. Yeah. All right. So that's my first go around with that. While those dry, I'm going to come down here and do some grass. So I've got some green on my brush, and I'm just going to come in and put a little bit of green down here. Now, anybody notice we still don't have a mirror. We still don't have a handle. And you know what else we don't have? We don't have hubcaps. We need to have some hubcaps. And I think I'm going to do all of that next. So here we go. I have added my green. And I'm going to let that dry. You got to let it rest. I'm going to come in and I'm going to do my hubcaps first. So I've got some of my black. And I'm just going to come in here. And I'm going to do that. Now, when I did that, I lost how dark my wheels were. So I'm going to come in with some more black. And I'm going to come in, see if I can't darken those up. I am not painting the whole wheel because what's happening is I'm actually making it look kind of two-dimensional by having that light gray black next to it. All right, I like it. That works. Okay, so the next thing I think I'm going to do is we needed handle. I'm going to get me some black and I'm going to make a little line right there. And now we got to make a mirror. So what I'm going to do is a mirror is a rectangle and it's going to just sit there. It's going to look a little funny. So I'm going to come over here in between the windshield and this window. I'm going to draw a little rectangle with a little line. And I'm going to leave it like that. Looks a little funny, but people are going to know what it is. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm going to go back to my fireworks. Yay! Taking some red. And I'm going to start back and I'm going to go in the same spot. Notice that I am not doing, and it's a very light touch. And I actually have my pinky on the piece of paper doing it. And do you see how the middle gets bigger? Don't use too much water or you're going to have a big messy mess. And you see how it's making it look more and more like, I'm going to go into my blue and I'm going to do it next. So I'm coming in and I'm going to go, so I think I did this one first. All right, so there's that. Some of them are on top of each other and some of them aren't. And some of them are bigger and some of them are smaller. Some of them have more water and some of them don't. Now, I don't know about you, but I kind of need something right here. I think I'm going to do a red one. That got lighter. I'm gonna wait for that to dry. So as I wait for that to dry, I'm gonna look at my truck again and go, is there anything that I need to do to this truck? So one of the things that I think I would notice is, I think I might have noticed the steering wheel. And you see I made that steering wheel right there. And it comes out, it doesn't even look like anything. But you know that that's a steering wheel. So, all right, I think I'm going to come in with some more red on my truck here. And I'm going to make a few places. Now, I'm not doing the whole place. I'm just kind of making some big, bright red strokes. Uh-oh. You see that? Bleeding, bleeding, mayday, mayday, mayday. So I'm wiping my brush off on my paper towel. And then I'm coming in here and I'm lightly touching it, and then I'm touching it off. Lightly touching it and touching it off. Alright, that's not bad. I'm going to come up back over here to my red, and I'm almost ready to do my little details. Not bad. Alright. Anything else we should add? Oh, you know what I want to add? I want to add green grass. So, I'm adding just a few little things of grass. Same kind of way as I did flicking for the fireworks, but I'm doing them straight up and down. And that just kind of adds a little bit more. That's pretty cute. Okay, now, I think I said we were going to erase that. If we were going to erase that, we probably should have done it before we started painting. Don't you love that? Go teacher, go. So I am going to hit this with a dryer real quick. This dryer is called a Heat It Tool by Ranger. It's really quiet compared to a hair dryer. Hair dryers are so loud. And I don't know about you, but I'm actually kind of missing the fact that I kind of want a blue sky or something like behind me. I mean, this would be in the dark because we've got fireworks, wouldn't we? I don't know. Let me think about that. So I'm going to come in here with my pen, and I'm going to start with my flag. And I'm not going to do every single line, and I actually am going to do a few black dots to make it look like there's something there, right? And I'm going to come in, and you all know me, I like to do curly cues. So I'm coming in and I am scribbling, of course, and I am coming in and I am adding all of my shapes. I'm going around my shapes that I started with. Okay, and coming into, now you know what, I think I'm going to come in and I'm going to add little lines here to make it one of those types of stars. I don't know if I like that or not, but I'm done now, right? All right, let's do, this is where I'm going to come in and I'm going to add a little bit more detail to those wheels, or not wheels, but the bumper, the step. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more information, highlights, shading in here. I might even add little lines like that for my lights. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to pay attention to my shapes. And then I'm going to come in, add a few of those. I'm going to make my one star, it's going to have stripes in it. See, it added stripes. And I'm going to come into this area in here and I'm going to make it a little bit darker because I want to make sure it's inside the truck. I'll come in, add a little bit more grass in here. I don't think I'm going to add anything to, well, I think I'm going to, and then you can decide. How's that? So I'm kind of scratching the surface. I'm not really doing a whole lot. Oh, that one's wet. Staying away from it. And I like that. That kind of worked. All right, not bad. So like I was saying, is I want some of this to be gone. So I'm going to sit here and where it's not wet, I'm going to erase a few places. Okay. And lucky for me, it's not completely wet everywhere. All right, so I'm happy with that. But one of the things I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my brush. I'm going to get me some green down here, and I'm going to just add a little bit more all the way. And see, that's making our canvas a little bit bigger. I'm also not going all the way to the edge. I kind of like the unfinished look. You may not, but I think that's making it look more like a picnic, honestly. All right, I'm gonna wash my brush out really, really well. And now I'm gonna do the blue. I'm gonna do a blue. I have a darker purple blue that I'm getting. And I'm gonna come in here and do just a little bit around here. I'm leaving it alone. I'm not going really close to all of that color or those fireworks. And you see how it's a little bit different of a color because I've got a purple in there or a navy. And I'm just going to add a little bit in here. And you see how when I did that, I'm being real careful, not really, but I'm trying to get it not in my main things. I don't want to get it touching my fireworks. I want white stuff around my fireworks. It brings attention to them. Okay. Now, I think I like that a little bit better. What do y'all think? I do. I like it. This is just too dark, the inside. So I'm going to see if I can't make it go a little bit lighter. So what I did is I added some white. I keep drying off my brush, but it's not really working too much. So it is what it is, right? That's why it's practice. All right, I think I'm happy with that. I hope you all have a happy 4th of July. I will see you all in July. Again, every Tuesday, I think we're going to stay there. And I'm still thinking about adding stuff. I love adding stuff. I'm adding just a little bit darker color. I might even add a little bit of brown in here. You see how when I added that, it made it darker? Maybe too dark. I'm just gonna, do you see how I'm pulling it from that area because I had so much and I'm putting it elsewhere. That made it a little bit more. I don't know. All right. Happy 4th of July, people. I will see you all next week. And have a wonderful 4th of July. Please be safe. And especially if you're doing fireworks. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.